my name is Cheryl. Welcome back to Mer Pirate Makes. Today we have a pattern review of Vogue 1478. If you've been around for a minute, you know that this was my So Lucky Jar pick last January, and I finally got it sewn up. One of the reasons it took so long is because I was looking for thrifted fabric. I did find that last year, and then it took me a little bit of time to get started on the project. So view A is shorter and it has the full fur collar and inseam pockets, and then, or they might be welt pockets, I'm not sure. And then view B is the longer version and it's got big patch pockets. I went with view B. What first drew me to this pattern is just how beautiful the jacket is. I mean, look at it, the fabric is stunning. It just looked chic and simple, something to throw on over your other layers and head out. The sewing process, I think, was pretty simple. The instructions are clear with a couple of exceptions. I cut size E based off of my measurement. I kind of wanted it to be oversized, so I just went with the recommendations of the pattern, thinking that it would be oversized in the way that most other commercial patterns are. I would say that that was true in the body, but it's not true in the sleeve, which is where I needed the most room because I've got kind of big arms, and then if you're layering over sweaters and stuff like that, you want extra room. So I did measure the pieces flat before I cut them out, before I even cut the size out. And they did seem like they would accommodate my biceps easily. However, once it was sewn up, I had to rip out those stitches and just give it as little seam allowance as I possibly could in order to have the sleeve fit. So maybe keep that in mind. Other adjustments that I made is that I lowered the bust starts. I think that's it. Because the pattern says that it has a lined and unlined option, I assumed that it would walk you through both of those, but it doesn't. The directions are just for the lined option, and there's some things that I would need to redo if I want to keep this jacket. So let's take a look at it. Here it is. This is the fabric. This is a quilt that I got from the thrift store. Most of my issues with this make do stem from the fabric, so that's on me. I noticed when I was cutting it out that there were quite a lot of snags. And then as I was sewing it up, when I went to iron a seam flat, it melted on the lowest setting on my iron. So I had to use a pressing cloth, and you can see that this ironing didn't really take. So for the seam finishes, I did serge all of my pieces. I outlined all my pieces with the serger just to stop it from fraying, because it's 3 layers. It's the outside, the batting, and then the inside of the quilt. So I'm happy with that. There's just a couple things that I don't understand. One of them is so this is the back seam, and then there's all of this fabric, and then there's the collar. So if I'm wearing it, you can see that before we even get to the collar, the piece, this is part of the front of the front piece, it's super thick. So even with the jacket worn somewhat properly, it's hard to get the creases to do what you want them to do. But the collar comes up way high, and it's clearly not doing that on the model. It looks like it's going flat around the back of her neck. It also looks like it's doing that in the line drawing, just staying really flat. So I'm not sure why I have all this height. It also looks pretty bad. I would say definitely in the house coat territory. It's got a good length. I'm going to take it off because it's so hot. I didn't do the big boxy patch pockets. I just went with regular patch pockets. And I added 2. They only had 1. Why would I add just 1 pocket? Yeah, it's a multi-piece sleeve construction, and it fits okay like this over my bare arms. But I do think that I would struggle if I was wearing a sweater, which is the intended purpose of this. You can see that we kind of struggled with the pockets. They're not looking great. I was pretty impressed with my sewing machine. It did go through like 6 layers of quilt. Okay, I did break 3 needles. So I don't know if that's the best. Oh, so because it doesn't actually have directions for it being unlined, the finishing instructions for the hem don't make sense for an unlined coat. What ended up happening is that my collar piece matches the hemline on one side, a gap of at least an inch on this side. So to fix that, what I would need to do is unpick it, hem the jacket, reattach the collar. Probably don't even bother hemming the collar. I mean, I don't mind the exposed serger seam on the end, the orange. I think it looks fine, especially for this type of make, which, because of the fabric, this is not a make I would ever wear somewhere where I was trying to impress people. See if we can get this to hang up. Do I recommend this pattern? Sure. It's got a lot of fitting instructions that I did not follow, so that's definitely part of the reason for my bad fit. I could have done a full bicep adjustment. That would have made a big difference, but I did not do that. I'm actually happy that I had a plan and followed it, so that's pretty cool. The So Lucky Jar Challenge worked in that way. I sewed 1 pattern already that this probably would have just sat in my stash for another 10 years. It's probably at least 10 years old already. When I bought this pattern, I lived in Florida, so a jacket without closures would have been fine. But in Colorado, I don't think I'm gonna wear a jacket without closures, and I don't think that I need one. The one time I did kind of wear it outside, the wind just blew the coat right open. It was pretty crazy. It's 80 today, so I already don't need a jacket, period. That's why I'm in my workout clothes again, because I need more like summery things. I just still really love this view in this fabric on the model, and if I ever find a similar fabric, I think I would make a jacket out of it. I just won't make this jacket again. So this pattern will be getting destashed. I'm sorry to whoever gets this because I did cut it. I need to stop cutting it, especially as I get more into fitting. I used to trace all my patterns because my weight fluctuated a lot. And then when I kind of steadied out, I started cutting, and I regret it almost every time. So to future Cheryl, please start tracing your patterns. It's better for you, better for fitting, and better for whoever gets your patterns after you. So now we get to pick our next pattern out of our So Lucky jar. So let's do that. All right, so we pulled Butterick 4935. So if you watched my last video or 2 videos ago, you know that this has already been on my mind for a couple of thrifted fabrics that I bought that I only had 1 yard of. So one or both of these. I think what I'll do is I'll make view A with the thinner straps from this B fabric. I think that would be really cute. And then I'll try view B, though it might be too high necked, out of this fabric, which this fabric just seems a little more, I don't know, it wants sleeves, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited about this. I was actually thinking about making up view A this week to wear this weekend. From this fabric. So I think this is going to be my next project. I think that's sorted. let me know down in the comments if you think I should keep the jacket pattern and try again, or if I should just get rid of it, because I think I want something with closures. Let me know if I should try to salvage this monstrosity or not, or just kind of let it go its own way. This pattern was thrifted, so let's check to see if the pattern pieces are intact. Yeah, I think it's uncut. 14, 16, and 18. Cool. All the sizes are here. I'll trace it. Yeah, let me know if you've sewn this up before, or if you've sewn up anything similar. If you have any tips, I would appreciate them. So that's going to be it for me. I am happy that I finally finished sewing that, and hopefully it doesn't take me a whole year to do this next So Lucky jar. That's going to be it, and I'll see you next time.